What is going on, miners, and welcome back to the Hobbyist Miner channel. Well, it has been 2 weeks since we went ahead and unboxed and set up our RakWireless GoldSpot miner. If you guys didn't check the video, I'll put a link up in the upper right hand corner as well as down below to that video. Go ahead and check it out. So 2 weeks in, we went ahead and installed this miner 2 weeks ago in a spare bedroom above my garage on the second story. It's a playroom, kids playroom, up on the windowsill. And it is not wired via Ethernet. It is just strictly wireless driven when it comes to our home run there. And it's been sitting here for a good old 2 weeks. So I thought, hey, let's go ahead and give you guys a rundown. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So here we are on Helium Explorer. This is not my area. In order to keep things secure and keep things anonymous, I have transposed the different hexes in my area over top of a random place in the country. I have no clue where the town Kickapoo is, but I thought, hey, we'll go ahead and transpose it on there. So keep that in mind as you're taking a look at this map. The green hexes are actually my hexes in my area. So here is where I am. Good old hobbyist miner right there. Not by the river, but that's what it looks like. So I went ahead and got everything set up. It's been running for 2 weeks. We've got a number of other helium miners in our area, but not over congested. We're not, we're in a suburban area. We're not like in a city or anything like that. And let me tell you, 2 weeks in to helium mining, and I want to rip my hair out. I have had so many problems with my helium miner. So let's go ahead and talk about them. Do some of these look familiar? Anybody else? Anybody? So I have really struggled setting up. I got my helium miner set up. It took no time at all. It was super easy. Anybody could do it. But the second I get it set up, day one, day two, I can't even see it in the Helium app. And then finally it appears. Oh my gosh, it finally appeared. And it finally showed up on Helium Explorer 3 days in. And all I see is Hotspot is being relayed. I don't have any witnesses at that point, just Hotspot is being relayed. And I'm like, what? So I looked into it and I found, oh, I need to go ahead and make sure that port 44158 on my modem or router is forwarding to my device. So I'm like, okay. I went ahead and made that change, and I checked like an hour later, and it still says that it's being relayed. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I made that change. Well, lo and behold, chatting with several members of my Discord. By the way, thank you. There are so many knowledgeable people in the Hobbyist Miner Discord. It's insane, especially within the helium mining sub group on Discord. They worked with me on this, and lo and behold, the Helium Network is entirely slow, outdated, and does not give you accurate information. It sucks, especially being only 2 weeks in. I was like 3 days in, guys, and I was just ready to be done with helium mining already. So good examples here. It's telling me that my hotspot's being relayed, but I got a bunch of witnesses, which goes against everything I read. So I'm like, what in the world? And then on top of that, one site is telling me it's relayed. One site is telling me it's not. One moment it says it's relayed. An hour later it says it's not. And it's just like, I'm just ready to go ahead and give up. Well, after 2 whole weeks of plugging it in via Ethernet to think that that's it versus my wireless, trying different places in my house, I finally was like, screw this. I'm just going to let this thing sit, and I'm not touching it for a while because it's too frustrating. Bam. Yesterday, all of a sudden, we're not relayed anymore. All right, so let's take a look. So here's what we're looking like. As of yesterday, December 22nd, we're finally not relayed. Nothing changed. After some research and talking with some people in the community, it takes 2 weeks for the blockchain to entirely update, for the relayed information entirely update. I mean, I swear they need a disclaimer after you set it up on your phone and go through the app that's like, thank you for setting this up. please check back in 2 weeks to get accurate information. I swear they need that. So here we are. We are at this big red blob in the upper right hand corner that you guys see. I just made it red to kind of keep things in uniform. And we have a few witnesses. As of yesterday, we're not relayed. So I really don't know when or if profitability will increase at all. But our farthest witness is 26 kilometers away, which is crazy. Really, really crazy. The person that is 26 kilometers away, by the way, is running on an antenna that is an 8 dB antenna, 8.3 dB antenna. And I went ahead and like took a look. They have 16 witnesses all over the place, and their elevation is really, really high. So good for them. They're looking like in literally every 24 hours, they're making $20.80 off of the one that's at this 26 kilometer location. And then in 30 days, they're up $322. So kudos to them. They are rocking it, but it hasn't been up for that long. All right. So we also do have some that are, we have one that's 12 kilometers away. We have the one that's 8.2, you know, some that are a little shy than that, and one that's 3.2 kilometers, a little north of me as well. So we got some witnesses, which is awesome. So we got witnesses, and we're not relayed anymore. Yes, success. So to give you guys an idea, we have some new miners popping up in my area. So on the map here, you guys can see the one right north of me and the one north of that literally are under a week. Like they have like no data on Helium Explorer at all. So this is awesome. I am very eager to see where things end up once this is all said and done, and we get to see exactly what's going on, because I'm really eager to see, you know, hey, what ends up coming of this? You know, do we end up building a little network here? You know, what ends up happening? I mean, we got a number of hexes around us, and now I got one right up against me, which is awesome. Like that's what you want. You want everyone to be in their own little hex, but nobody to be in your hex. You know, you don't want to share the wealth, but you want to grow the wealth. So that's kind of where we stand right now. Taking a look at our 7-day profitability here. Now, I really don't know if this is going to be the norm or if this is going to grow with one, additional witnesses and this kind of growing in my area. And two, now that we're not relayed, I don't know. I really don't know anything about a Helium. I'm learning as we go. But in the last 7 days, we've made $10.26. If we take a look at a 30-day period, we've made $15.10. So that, now granted, we've only been doing this for 2 weeks. So that tells us there that I think the relay really cut into the profitability, but we'll find out in 2 more weeks once we go ahead and come back and do a better recap. So where do we go from here? Well, here is our next home for our Helium miner. I'm taking it from a 2nd story window to my attic. So I'm increasing the elevation. Now, line of sight isn't as good because I'm right now currently in a window, but I'm increasing my elevation by 10 feet, maybe 12 feet, going straight up higher. So as you can see, this is my attic. I do need to go ahead and put an outlet in the attic, and up against this wall here, I'm going to put a little shelf here. I'm going to put an outlet here, and then I'm going to plug in my Helium miner, put it right here. It's going to run off a wire, my home wireless still. There's an access point right below this on the 2nd story, and then I'm going to drill through this wall down the road and put in a new antenna. But as of when this video drops, I will be putting in the outlet, putting in a shelf, and putting my Helium miner stock, just the way it is, stock antenna with the 2.3 right up here in my attic. And I'm going to let it sit for 2 weeks. And then we're going to come back after 2 weeks and we're going to do another video talking about how things have gone. Are we seeing more profitability? Do we have more witnesses? You know, what does that elevation do for us after we get to that? In addition to that, let's talk about what comes after that. So 2 weeks later, we're going to go ahead and do a recap in the attic. 2 weeks after that, we're talking about a new antenna. So this is what I'm looking at right now. Now I'm going to put this antenna right outside this wall and it's going to be at the highest peak. I'm going to put it all the way at the top, the highest peak possible outside my house, as high as I can go on the side of my house is my game plan. So this is the antenna that I've been looking at, just kind of reading some reviews, chatting with the community. This one looks perfect. 5.8 dBi antenna that'll work well on the side of the house. Now I've chatted with a few other people as well, and it looks like on top of that antenna, from the antenna, we're gonna go into something like this, a lightning resistor. And let me know down below if you guys have used these before. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it with a lightning resistor, especially if this is the highest point on my roof, or if it doesn't matter? Because like if lightning's hitting, I really shouldn't be worried about this directly. In addition to that, we are going to use a 3-foot LMR 400 cable, because think of it, if we're in our attic, I'm literally just putting a hole. I'm going to put a shelf and then punch a hole right through the wall, and bam, there's my antenna. So I don't need a very long cable, is what I'm thinking. And my understanding is the shorter the cable, the better. If I'm wrong, leave a comment down below and let me know. But that's kind of where we're at right now, guys. Helium mining, 2 weeks in, $15 in the last 2 weeks, but I feel like we can't use that as a good benchmark based off of waiting so long for it to come out of that relayed state. So we'll see. And we got new witnesses showing up in my area. Well, that's it, guys. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your experience helium mining. How's your profitability looking like? Have you held in there? Are you keeping it going? It seems like there's new helium miners popping up left and right now, which is great. It's awesome, especially in my area. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks to go ahead and discuss more of our status and profitability. Take care.